Hey guys, welcome back. Today I got a really cool Chinese sword for you. Sorry it's been a couple days or weeks. I've gotten over a little bit of a sickness. Note to self, if someone is sick around you, run away. Treat them like they are the literal zombie apocalypse. No, I'm just kidding, of course. So I hope you enjoy this video. Again, I have been getting over sickness a little bit. So again, just enjoy the video and sorry again for not posting in a couple weeks. Hey guys, so like I said earlier, I've been sick for about a week, so if I look like I rolled out of bed or something, it's because of that. But remember a while ago when I said I wanted to get a Chinese sword because they look cool and because the form of technique is interesting and new? Yep, well, I got one. Now right off the bat, it's got a really nice, I like the way that looks, it's sweet. That like traditional fabric kind of thing, and the handle looks good. I mean, it feels a little cheap, but we'll get into that in a minute because I got this a couple of days ago. And again, looks pretty good. Now, this looked cool. I say looked, and again, we'll get into that in a second. This looked cool. That black, that really looks awesome with that design. Now, let me get into things I don't like because there's just a couple. So the reason why it looks like it's got like scratches there is because they sent me an unsharpened sword. It was hardened, but they sent me an unsharpened sword. So I had to take it on a wheel and sharpen it myself. And so some of those little scratches on the paint, as you can see here, are because I had to take it on a wheel or to look that awesome looking like black or purple. And again, that looks really cool, but you sent me an unsharpened sword. They should have just sent me a sword that was sharpened with this color, and then it would have been better. Besides that though, that looked pretty sweet. Now what I do like, it's got a threaded tang. Why I say I like a threaded tang? Because it's so much easier if something breaks on a handle to just unthread this right here. Oh my god, come on. Right here. See that thread tang there? It's so much easier to unthread this if this broke and pull this off with this than having to hit the pins out, measure material, line it up with the pins, glue it in, you know what I mean, and then shape it. Versus like this, you can just take like a circular block of wood, some glue, and a new guard if it needed it, smack that up in there, and screw a new pummel on. In my opinion, anyway, I think threaded tangs are awesome and just better. But, alright, the reason why, another thing I don't like, is this handle here. See, I thought it was metal at first, and I felt it. It's the cheapest pot metal they could have probably put for $80 on a sword. I know, $80, but listen, I'm broke, okay. What I do like I said, besides the fact I had to sharpen, or what I don't like is that I had to sharpen it, of course, and then I had to kind of ruin that nice finish here, as you can see, the black, which is really sweet with that design. And what it really reminded me of, if you've ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, you know, Sokka's sword. That sword, it was almost the same color. So it really was pretty sweet. Anyway, so let's see if this sword is good. You know what I mean? You want to do a sharpness test, a strength test, and then an endurance test to see if the edge I put on it can withstand. Basically, I'm testing the metal because we know just by the look of it that I had to sharpen it. So let's just see if it's good quality steel or if it's kind of chintzy. And again, the technique for this kind of Chinese sword is very unique. Oh, and one more thing. See this here? This metal spacer. Instead of putting like a fuller, they put this here, which helps with the lightness of it, which is kind of cool. And I like the way it looks too, personally. So yeah, that's just one more thing. Now let's get into testing this. Sorry now. So, what's nice about these Chinese swords is because they're light enough that you can actually one-handed. You can do thrusts or slashes with one hand, which is really kind of nice, again, because someone does an attack, you can block with both hand and sword, or you can do two-handed and slice and thrust, which is again why I think these are kind of cool, these traditional Chinese swords, because again you can do one hand strikes or in thrusts, or you can do two-hand strikes in thrusts, which again is pretty sweet. So that's why I think and I'm not an expert by any means on all of this stuff. I'm nowhere near an expert, so, but I do know that some of the traditional techniques of the sword go from one-handed to two-handed as far as the art form for the Chinese sword. It's a cool art form I would check out if you were interested. I am, again, not an expert, so if you know the actual name for this sword, don't be afraid to comment down below and tell me what the actual name of a traditional Chinese sword is. Let's get into those tests though. Okay, so I think for a good sharpness test, just to see how well I put an edge on this, we're gonna chop this foam block here. Now a good sword should slice clean through and not rip it. If it rips, it means it's not sharp, means it's not cutting, it's just breaking. A clean cut means it would probably slice through you and me no problem. So let's give it a whirl here. And I'm gonna do the best I can to swing this because I ain't no expert by any means. Let's give it a whirl though. My bad, I missed. Like I said, no expert by any means. Okay, one more try here. Maybe it ain't that sharp. I mean, it is a cheapo sword. So I guess we'll see. One more try. Let me give it one more try here. Well, see both times you cut into it. I don't know, it feels sharp. The sword feels sharp. Let me try one more thing just to see. I mean, it's not like piercing. You can see it's just not piercing very well. Maybe it's a block. I'm not sure what the deal is. Let me try. Very clean, you can see here. It's not very clean. Either I'm right about putting an edge on it or it's sharp. Let's see if it does the strength test though, just to see. Because again, that's not a very good sign already. And it can't even cut through a foam block. I mean, that isn't very impressive, so. Well, let's see how it does on a strength test. Because if it breaks on a strength test, then it doesn't really matter, does it? If it's not strong, then it doesn't matter if it's sharp or not. A strong sword will always beat a sharp sword any day. I thought this is probably the best and hardest that I could find. It's a piece of porcelain. This stuff's basically like ceramic, I think. Maybe it's marble. Whatever it is, it's tough. So if it snaps this thing like a freaking twig, then I mean, because the proof's in the pudding. But hopefully it shouldn't ruin the edge too badly. So I got safety glasses because, you know, stuff likes to fly around when you do strength tests. Do like 2 on each side and then a couple thrusts. Oh, you get a good test on this edge. The edge I tried to put on, apparently. So here we go. 2, not too bad. One more chopped on this side and 2 on this side. Whoa, holy crap. It cut the porcelain in half. Holy crap. Look at that. It cut the porcelain, or marble. Actually, I think it's marble. It cut the marble in half. Holy crap. Marble I thought was pretty tough, man. So you can see right here, that's where the sword hit, right in there. And it just either broke it or cut cleanly through it, but that's a clean cut. That's not like cracked all over and in place. It cut cleanly through marble. Actually, besides being a little cheap, it's all together. It's not loose. Everything's right and tight. I mean, yeah. And the edge? It's got maybe a slight glinting. But I mean, Dude, it just cut through frickin' marble in half. Let's do the tip test now. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, I missed. One more. Alright. So. Tip? Didn't even care. And again, that's astounding. I don't know what is this deal, but look. Tip. Still very pointy. Marble. And the tip is still sharp. I don't know who made this type of steel. But dear God. I mean, you can see it. There's where the tip hit the first time and second time. And it didn't even care. The tip didn't even care. It just went straight through that like butter. It's just the material I was trying to chop through. I bet you it's just the material because it feels sharp. So let's give it a whirl here with this cool sword. Well, I mean, that's a pretty clean cut. I mean, this is a pretty hard fruit, I think. Is squash a fruit? I don't know. So that's pretty clean cut. Try one more time on the same side. Not very good, I know. There we go. Material, because look at that. That's a pretty clean cut. No ripping at all. This is a pretty hard vegetable. I think it's a vegetable. So that's pretty good. We'll try the other side though, real quick. You can do it with two and honestly. Pretty light. Oh yeah, that's on there. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Alright, it was just the material. I went clear through that time. So. Hey guys, so all in all, that training sword was really strong and actually pretty sharp despite the edge I put on it. I think the foam block just kind of made it not a very good choppable target. And if you liked the video, please consider subscribing. It really helps out, like I always say.